After ascending to the throne of Brittany, Arthur, as had happened to his father, faced strong opposition from the nobles of the region. Many disputed his right to the throne and considered him a bastard. Others refused to kneel before a boy who was barely out of diapers. Arthur also had allies. However, it would be necessary to attract even more nobles to his cause, allowing the kingdom to be pacified.
Sir Ulfius, I know that my father had a strong friendship with the kings living on the continent.
No doubt, sire. Your father knew the importance of having a true friend in times of need.
We must re-establish bonds of friendship with these kings. United, our kingdoms will be stronger against our enemies. I am counting on your expertise to lead a delegation on my behalf, which will seek to establish a defensive alliance between our kingdoms.
It shall be so, Your Majesty.
Ulfius crossed the channel to meet with King Bors of Gaul and his brother, King Ban of Benwick, a land known as Little Britain. Ban gladly received the offer of an alliance with Arthur, for his wife was pregnant, and the king wanted his future son to inherit a strong and secure kingdom. His son would be the most celebrated knight in history, known as Lancelot. With the reinforced armies of his allies, Arthur fought the revolting nobles and beat his opponents, pacifying Brittany. With much of his enemies now defeated, Arthur consolidated himself on the Breton throne. A new era of prosperity was born in England. Advised by Merlin, Arthur ordered the resumption of construction of the citadel of Camelot, one of King Uther Pendragon's dreams. The construction of the city required much sweat and tears, but it began a new golden age in England. Prosperity spread throughout Brittany, and Arthur became beloved by the people. The civil war between rebellious nobles and the rightful king of Brittany increased the number of knights on the march. Noble warriors without lords or banished warlords wandered around England aimlessly and without purpose. With nothing to lose, these knights were dangerous men. Arthur was riding with Merlin by his side, discussing the fate of Britain, when they spotted a knight in distress. It was Sir Griflet, Arthur's newest knight, tasked with eliminating a walking knight causing trouble in the area. The young man was gravely wounded and could barely support himself on his horse.
My God, who did that to you?
It was an extraordinarily strong wandering knight in armor, black as night. He refuses to give way to anyone who intends to cross the woods he protects.
Merlin, do you know who this man is who dares attack one of my knights?
In these lands, I believe that only a man of that description would have such audacity. Pellinore. He is now a landless nobleman, but was once a king. But even ruined, he is still a great and dangerous warrior.
I will take care of him. Stay here and look after Sir Griflet.
Arthur rode off toward the woods, ignoring Merlin's advice not to face the Black Knight. Inside the woods, Arthur was impressed by the various shields hanging from the tree branches. In the coat of arms, he recognized the weapons of some experienced and valiant knights, all defeated by Pellinore. At the end of the corridor of intimidating shields stood the Black Knight, a clearly imposing figure.
This path is closed. Turn around or you will regret it.
Arthur, at that moment, had no insignia identifying him as king. He found this beneficial, as he could gauge people's character without them being intimidated by his title.
I am here to avenge Sir Griflet and free this passage once and for all.
So be it, but don't think you will have the same luck as your friend, for you will not escape from here alive.
The two knights violently clashed their spears on their opponent's shield.
Finally, a worthy opponent. I was tired of taking down knights who would barely serve as squires.
They attacked each other again, and stalemate prevailed. Arthur was already a knight with some experience, but he had never faced such a skilled opponent, and he was motivated by his performance up to that point, which boosted his confidence. In the third confrontation, the Black Knight's spear found a gap in Arthur's armor and struck him in the shoulder.
You look like one of those knights who surrenders right after the first superficial wound.
With his pride wounded, Arthur's blood boiled, and he took up the royal sword. The sword duel was violent, but despite being wounded, Arthur was fighting very bravely against a stronger opponent. Pellinore landed a powerful blow that broke the king's sword. The movement was only interrupted when it hit Arthur's helmet. He fell off his horse, but one of his feet remained attached to the stirrup. The horse started to run and dragged the king out of the forest. The wounded Arthur collapsed, and his fate seemed uncertain. When he regained his senses, he saw the image of the most beautiful young woman he had ever met. He thought she was an angel, for he thought he had died and was in heaven.
Are you an angel? Your time has not yet come. My name is Lady Guinevere, daughter of Leodegrance.
Far away, the Black Knight returned to his cabin in the forest, where he protected what he considered to be his greatest treasure. There was his wife and his youngest son. The boy had been touched by the Holy Spirit and would one day be the knight known as Percival.